It's not yet 6 o'clock, but who cares if shit? I'm officially going to start early. So before we get to the main feature of the night, which will be Sonic 3 and Knuckles, since today marks the 19th anniversary of Sonic 3 on Groundhog's Day, but back then, when the game came out, it was known as Hedgehog's Day. I thought I'd do something a little special first. If anyone are familiar with Sonic history, there was a canceled game on the Sega Saturn known as Sonic X-treme. From a lot of Sonic fans' opinion, it could have been one of the greatest Sonic games ever existed, and probably would have, started the true era of 3D Sonic games. Had a really weird kaleidoscope-esque camera system, and of course the project was scrapped due to one of the developers almost dying, and Sega Institute then got shut down. Fast forward a few years, a group of people, including one of the original developers, thought they might bring the game back. Well, unfortunately, back in 2010, that project stopped. However, a few people stayed behind to continue working. Eventually, I decided to drop the last system, and decided to use the brand new fan-made Sonic game engine to run it. And so now I'm going to show you the first playable demo of Project AXSX. So hopefully people will like it. If you're a fan of Sonic X-treme and know your Sonic lore, this should be really awesome to those people. On top of all that, this was premiered at Sage 2012. Now, if you don't know what Sage is, it is known as Sonic Amateur Gaming Expo. Yeah, it's a very, not really well-known Sonic community event, but it's definitely one of the best. And the music probably stopped. Anyway. So, this is pretty much what could have been if Sonic X-treme saw the light of day. Really amazing and bizarre kaleidoscope feel to it. Didn't know about. Now, this is pretty much just a tech demo just to give people an idea of what to see and what to expect. So there are no enemies, there's no goal that I know of currently. This part of this demo does feature original music that was going to feature the game, and also used the Christmas Night soundtrack for some reason. God, I love the kaleidoscope effect. I finally got this installed and running last night. I could not stop smiling. Like, it's really hard not to smile when you're playing a game that was never supposed to exist. And yet, the Sonic community, even though we're a bunch of... That's what I'm looking for. The Sonic community in general is not lie. They bitch, they complain too much, and when they get something they want, they don't appreciate it. Which is sad because the Sonic community is very truthfully, the Sonic community loves anything that they can get their hands on Sonic-wise. But whenever it comes to people in the community wanting to actually make a project, well, a lot of fan-made projects never really see the light of day because members tend to stop what they're doing and go cold turkey. Such has been the sad fate for one of my favorite Sonic fan games, Sonic Nexus, which only did, they had almost the entire game complete. Then they decided to say, well, screw it, we don't really care anymore, and we're gonna jump ship, and pretty. And from that negligence of that... Oh, wait. They didn't really tell me anything. What if I went this way? But they eventually merged with a different team to create Sonic Retro Nexus, but then, of course, that game got shut down as well. Get your shit together, Sonic community. Oh no, no! That's death. That's actually the furthest I've been. Maybe there is a goal in this, or maybe it's just to be a purdy demo. But this is purdy. if I could exit the game, then yeah, you can hear me better. But just stick with it now. Get the audio fixed for when we start Sonic 3. Keep going that way. I think I've hit pretty much as far as I can get in this demo. Oh, I can't grab those rings. Why? That's another death. Anyway, that's enough for the amazing Sonic X-treme demo. I don't want to turn on the speaker's audio even more because I'm afraid no one will hear me then. Or hear the game music and stuff, but whatever. Anyway, now it's the real deal. Let me get up Genesis, Fusion. Oh god, you're huge. Not Game Gear. What am I doing? Genesis. Knuckles. Yay. Mega! Anyway, so yes, now we're going to start the main event, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I just realized this is the first Sonic stream I've done, which is kind of strange since I'm pretty much a GS resident Sonic fan. So normally whenever I do this game, I normally don't do Sonic or Tails, and I don't do Knuckles, and I don't do Sonic alone. I prefer to use Tails. Why Tails? Because, no, didn't mean to hit the B button. Tails is my favorite Sonic character. Oh Christ, Tails is tattooed on my back, so... Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the definitive Sonic game. You can't get any better than this, in my personal opinion. Out of everything in the series, including 3D games and everything else, it has to be the best game in the entire series. It had beautiful music, great stages, by far the best special stages in Sonic history. I mean, you honestly can't get any better than Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Originally, this was released in 2 parts. First was Sonic 3 back in February 2nd, 1994, followed by October 27th, I believe, was Sonic and Knuckles. And for those who... Oh, fuck that up. No, I didn't. Ooh, yeah, I did. Oh, I'm not gonna get it perfect. And when Sonic and Knuckles came out, it came with a thing called cartridge lock-on technology. Because when the game was originally in development, Sonic 3 was supposed to be one massive game, but they couldn't fit it all on one Sega Genesis cartridge. So what did Sega do? They decided to split the game up in 2 parts. Have part 1 come out in one specific date, and then have Sonic and Knuckles come out with a lock-on cartridge. So pretty much what happened is if you put Sonic 3 on top of Sonic and Knuckles, you would unlock the whole Sonic 3 game, and also give you the ability to play as Knuckles through slight variations of the original Sonic 3 stages. It's also nice because pretty much Tails was not even in Sonic & Knuckles as a playable character. He only showed up in the endings when you were falling from Death Egg Zone. But with Sonic 3 and Knuckles locked on, you can play Tails all the way through. Also, with the lock-on technology of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you also had access to both the normal emeralds and the super emeralds. Get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you can turn into Super Sonic, Super Knuckles. Tails still gets a short end of the stick, unfortunately. However, if you get all 7 Hyper Emeralds on top of the Chaos Emeralds, then you unlock Hyper Sonic, Hyper Knuckles, and Super Tails, which Super Tails is probably one of the best supers in the entire game. Because it's just Tails with 4 pissed off Flickies, golden Flickies at that, flying around and that pretty much destroy everything in their path. It's also one of the first Sonic games to have a predominantly featured story. And we got some story out towards the end of Sonic 2, definitely Sonic CD. This one had story that's pretty much littered throughout the game, just to give it more of a story as a feel. I shouldn't have to explain it, but the point of the special stages is to basically secure all of the blue spheres. If you basically complete spheres in a certain pattern, then all of them will turn into rings. If you get all the spheres and all the rings, you get a perfect bonus, and I believe also will continue. Remember correctly. And what I ought to do for a stream is do basically a marathon, where I basically marathon through all of Red Sphere, Blue Sphere. To access Red Sphere, Blue Sphere, you have to, normally you would have to lock on Sonic and Knuckles with Sonic 1. Now, because Knuckles' palette sprite doesn't match with the palettes in the original Sonic game, it just wasn't compatible, and also you could have Knuckles accessing areas of the game that they weren't coded for. For example, with ROM hacking, people have, managed to make Knuckles playable in Sonic 1, where you could get him into this one area of a Marble Zone, which there is nothing. Like, there's just a dead giant wall and you can't get past it, and there's nothing you can do because they never programmed anything for that other path. So to make up for that, they instead put over 1,000 Red Sphere, Blue Sphere stages that were unlocked automatically, and all you had to do was play through them and see how far you can get. Really good way to waste a Saturday evening. I seem to be lost, which is sad. I love the Tails Continue sprite. It's just him pumping his fist in the air like, I'm a boss! It's also awesome because Tails is the only character in the Sonic universe who can swim on the doggy paddle. Put Sonic to shame, that's for damn sure. Rings, though. Sonic 3 was also the first game to implement elemental shields. Now, since Sonic 1 we had a standard shield, but Sonic 3 took it up a notch and included both a bubble shield, a fire shield, and an electric shield. Most people know the electric shield was primarily used for gathering rings since it's magnetic. Fire shield makes you immune to all fire damage, and bubble shield makes you able to breathe underwater. Which can be really useful for Hydra City Zone. Ah, damn. Wanted to waste more time. Wow, 2 minutes flat for Act 1, that's not bad. I'm sure I could go faster if I tried harder, but what the hell. I'm trying to get all the Chaos Emeralds. This one. I'm not gonna go for a perfect on you, because I know I can screw this up horribly. I would like to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds by Hydra City. Don't jeopardize that. Jeopardize by making a stupid mistake towards the end. While getting a perfect in special stages is, it's just literally just a pat on your back for doing a job well done. Jolly good show. Perfects are honestly more important in the Red Sphere, Blue Sphere lock-on game. Because the way how you advance in that game through its thousands of stages is if you simply beat the stage without getting it perfect, you'd only jump ahead 1 level. However, if you perfected a stage, you jumped ahead, I believe it was 5 or 10 levels, something like that. So, if you got it perfect, that means you can skip stages. And it's all fun and games to get to stage 122, where you have to beat the stage going backwards. I think I spent 30 minutes trying to complete that. Oh, I've already jeopardized it. Fuck, I jumped too early. Cool, now I'm incredibly screwed. Or not. And they say I get nothing for being a show-off. God, I could have seriously screwed that up. I would have been kicking myself for it. And I'm about to lose my fire shield. Now. Now, the shields in this game also served a secondary... Oh... Fuck you two. They served a secondary purpose in the game. Because Sonic didn't have a flying ability or a gliding ability like Knuckles has, Sonic was pretty much only limited to the spin dash and jumping. Now, the only way to get around that, and to give Sonic more moves, was for the developers to give him a special action with shields. If you basically tap the jump button twice as Sonic, you'll basically create a little, like, blue sphere around you. It basically widens your attack range. We'll do a bonus stage because we can. Now, if you're to do that with different shields, something would happen each time. If you had a water shield, you pretty much bounce up and down. Think of the bounce bracelet from Sonic Adventure 2. That's pretty much what it was. The flame shield basically lets you shoot forward like a fireball, kind of out of a Kirby game. And with the electric shield, or lightning shield, you basically get a double jump that also counted as an attack since it shot little sparks out in different directions.